Hi guys! I am super excited to show this planner to you. This is the new softcover 2021 Leuchtturm A5 weekly horizontal planner. Mine came today and I am absolutely enamored with it. So Leuchtturm have had A5 weekly horizontal and vertical planners for a long time in hardcover, but this is the first year that they have brought out a softcover version. It's for the horizontal layout and I absolutely love it and I really want you to be able to see it. So this is the Pacific Green. They come in a variety of different colors and it's the same texture and design as their softcover notebooks and also as their softcover B6 and B5 monthly planners, if you're familiar with those. I have showed the B6 Plus version on my channel before. So I got mine directly from the Leuchtturm website. I'll leave the link down below. And I got it embossed, which is an option that you can select when you order from their website. So it says the Bears 2021, and the Bears is just a nickname that James and I use for like our little family of the two of us and then the 3 dogs. And I got it in copper, which I think looks beautiful with this Pacific Green. So it has the usual trusty Leuchtturm elastic. This is what it looks like on the side. Like I said, same design as their soft-bound notebooks and monthly planners, so you have the rounded corners. This is what it looks like on the spine. And this is the back. It has the Leuchtturm logo embossed. And it's the same kind of paper and the same sort of feel as the notebooks, but it's a bit thicker than the soft-bound notebooks because it obviously has a year's worth of weekly horizontal spreads. So let's have a look at the inside. So when you open it, you have this usual Leuchtturm end page with the little place here to write your name or your address or any other details that you want. And this is the, kind of typical end paper cardstock. Then you have the little Leuchtturm logo. The paper is the same 80 GSM creamy paper that you get for other Leuchtturm planners and notebooks. It's all exactly the same. You have this one blank page here, and then you go straight into the yearly spread. So it starts with 2020, the year gone by, and it's this very nice sans serif font, which they've been using for the last couple of years. I think it's beautiful. The last time I had a weekly Leuchtturm planner was 2017, and they were using a different font then, and I like this one much better. But if you've had any Leuchtturm products over the last couple of years, this will be the same. Then you have the current year, i.e. 2021 and 2022, and it lists the week number, and then it has a Monday start with Sunday at the end in bold. I really like the layout. It's so simple and clean. And then it goes straight into their vertical yearly spread, so you get 6 months per 2-page spread, 3 months per page, and I really like this layout. This is kind of similar to the vertical layout that you get in the Hobonichis. There's also one in the Jibun Techo, I think, and in the Happy Planner. So if you're using this as a planner, you can use it either as a tracker or you can use it to give yourself kind of a bird's eye view of upcoming events like holidays or regular appointments, that kind of thing. I'm actually going to be using this as a memory keeper, so I don't think that I will be using this spread. Or I might just use it like to kind of put in one comment per month or something, like a highlight of the month. But I think it's very handy if you're using that as a planner to have this little shorthand version of the year, especially because it doesn't have a monthly layout, which is totally fine with me because I generally rely mostly on the weekly layout, and then it's nice just to have a kind of like very, kind of high level overview, which this is really good for because you can write in 1 or 2 things per day if you need to. It also gives you the moon phases, which I think is really cool. That's something that I've got into recently. So it gives you the crescent moon, the full moon, the waning moon, and the, what is it called? When there's the new moon? I need to improve my moon phase vocabulary. So it gives you the whole of 2021, and then it also gives you the whole of 2022, which I think is fantastic because I've said this a few times throughout my videos that there are very few planners that give you a whole year for forward planning. And this is actually the only thing that I kind of miss in the Hobonichi, is that they don't give you this coming year so that you can write in appointments for the next year, because sometimes you need to plan ahead, and you might have something like, in my case, it might be a conference for the next year or some other kind of academic event that I'm organizing like way in advance, and I need to be able to not only see the dates for the next year but also to be able to write something in. And there are all kinds of other reasons, I think, where you might need to do some long-term planning. And of course, you can always repurpose an empty spread at the end of the book, but it's just really nice to have something pre-printed with the dates on it. So I think that this is a fantastic feature that they have here. So they give you the whole of the next year, 2022. And then you get this spread with international holidays for the current year, 2021. It sounds really funny saying 2021, even funnier than 2020. So I don't know, 2022 also sounds silly. I guess I just have to get used to it. I don't know if others feel like that, but just saying it, very, very surreal. So this is a page that I really like because the actual weekly spreads are very clean. They don't list any holidays, and I think that's great because this is used internationally, and so obviously it's kind of frustrating if you're living in one country and you've got the holidays from another country printed there that don't really apply to you. And so I think this is a really elegant solution. They just put the national holidays of quite a wide range of countries in here at the top, and then you can just use this little chart to check the month and the country that's relevant to you, and then you can add them in on the relevant dates. So they don't tell you what the holidays are, but I'm kind of, assuming that, for me, I think in most other people, if you live in the country, you know what those holidays are. And, it's not hard to look them up if you're looking, say, for another country and you're, trying to plan something that will fit in with, I don't know, if you've got to liaise with people in another country, you can just check and see that there's a national holiday in that country. And I think it's quite convenient. And then you can add them in as is relevant to you. And I really like this, that in the Leuchtturm as compared with the Moleskine, which I think is the most similar kind of planner, I feel like, in terms of design and layout. The Moleskine has a lot more front matter. It has, international time zones and sizes and conversions and things like that. And I think that this is just much more simple because it gives you a lot of notes pages at the back, and then it keeps the front of the stuff at the front quite functional. So then you have this really cool project plan for 2021, and it just gives you this 2-page spread, which is perfect for use as a tracker because it gives you 5 horizontal spaces here that you can use to list different items. So if you wanted to use this for tracking, you could say things that you need to do every day. You can write down I don't know, water plants or take vitamins or whatever it is that you want to include here, and then you just tick every day when you've done it. Or you could use it as a mood tracker and kind of dedicate a different mood to each of these lines and then tick, or I think that there are a lot of different uses for this, and it's just really convenient having it here in the front. So I think that everything that they include in the front is very, very functional, and it also doesn't take up too much space in case you don't need it. You only have a few pages at the front that you can leave blank, and then you go on to the main part of the planner, which is the weekly layouts. So it starts in the last week of December 2020, Monday the 28th of December, and as you can see, you've got quite a big chunk of space per weekday. Now, my only gripe about this planner is the fact that it has a shared weekend, which, as you know, is usually a deal breaker for me. And because I'm using this as a memory keeper, I'm going to decorate it, and I'm going to use it for kind of recording the highlights of the week, which might be every day. There might be something every day, or there might be just, kind of something on the Monday and then something on the Wednesday, or something that extended over a few days. I don't mind so much having the shared weekend, but if I were using this as my main planner, I would not be able to put up with it. So I think depending on what you want to use this for, it might be fine or it might be a deal breaker. That's the only thing that I would have as a criticism of the layout. They have a vertical planner which doesn't have a shared weekend, and it has time slots, and I think that that is fantastic, but as far as I know, it doesn't come in a softbound. I could be wrong about that though, but I don't think it does. So Monday start, and you have the same nice crisp sans serif capital font, which I think is really clean and elegant, and it lists the month and the year at the top of the page, and then you have this nice clean line but between each day, but no lines in the actual days themselves, which I think is really nice if you want to use this for something more decorative like I do. So I'm going to cover this with stickers, and even though this is a bound planner, it will hold up to heavy sticker rating very well, because I have been sticker rating my B6 Plus monthly planner, which is, you know, that's essentially it's the same binding, and that has been totally fine over the year. It expands, but the spine doesn't break. And I also had a hardbound version of this planner a few years ago in 2017, and I covered like every inch of that in stickers, and it was fine as well. So I think that the binding will hold up. So here at the bottom, you've got a little space below the line where it gives you the week number on each side of the page. And I just think it's really beautiful. Then as we move into January, it gives you the month and the year at the top of every page. And this is a true A5. So unlike the Moleskine, which is more like an A5 Slim, this is the same size as their notebooks, which I think most people are familiar with in the planner community. So this is one of their hardback A5 notebooks, and it's exactly the same size. It's just that, as you can see, compared to the notebook, it's a bit thinner, because I think the notebooks have 250 something pages, and this obviously has fewer pages because it just has the year's worth of weekly spreads, and then some note pages in the back and this bit of front matter. So that's how it continues. You can see that it's very, very clean. It doesn't have a lot on the page, which I think makes it perfect for a more decorative style of planning. Or if you don't mind not having lines to write on and you just want to note down like a to-do list for the day or something. You could also obviously use it in a little bit of a sort of bullet journal style, and, you know, make some divisions between, like, say, appointments and to-dos, and, you know, like draw some lines here, or like kind of put washi down the middle of the page, or divide it into 3 sections. There's quite a bit of space here. You could also divide it into 2 sections horizontally. And it lists the moon phases here as well. That's the only thing that it lists. It doesn't list holidays or, you know, any other kind of events, but it does list the moon phases, which I think is cool. So that's how the whole thing looks. It also doesn't have those like mini calendars, you know, the mini monthly calendars that a lot of planners have on the weekly pages. And so I think the whole thing just contributes to a very minimalist, clean look, which I really like. Whenever you have a month that like kind of ends with the new month beginning on the same week, it will list both of the months at the top. And I think that that combined with the week number is really all you need to know, because if you want to check a monthly layout, you can go back to the beginning and have a look at this spread. So I think it's just really nice and functional. Like I said, I'm not going to be using this for a planner. I'm going to be using it for decorative memory planning, and I think it's also perfect for that, like I said, because of the nice open spaces without lines. But I think it would work really well as a, you know, just kind of all-purpose weekly planner too. So when we get to the end, the last week is the week that ends on the 2nd of January 2022, and then it goes straight into some blank notes pages. So I kind of wish that they had made this dot grid, because I think that would make it a little bit more useful for note taking, because I, for one, am incapable of writing on blank paper. The lines will just get really crooked in no time. But I also think that this is sort of nice because it's in keeping with the overall very clean minimalist look that they have, and they don't have dot grid pages anywhere else in this planner. The B6 monthly planner does, but this one doesn't have dot grid anywhere, so I think that that's fine as well. And for my purposes, it's certainly not a problem, because I think I'll just leave these blank. So you get, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10. It looks like about 10 sheets, so 20 pages, like 20 sides, which is quite substantial, I think, for a weekly planner. It probably works out as, I guess, kind of around 1 page per 2.5 weeks, something like that. So I think that's pretty good. And then you have this end page with cardstock, and it has the Leuchtturm logo on it, and then it does here as well. And then you have the traditional back pocket with the gusset, which is also sturdy. So I've been using the pocket on my B6 monthly planner for more than a year, and that's held up really well, and I put all kinds of stuff in it, so I think that is really functional too. And then you have the nice elastic here, and you also get 2 ribbon bookmarks, as per usual with Leuchtturm notebooks and planners. So one of them is just in the color of the cover, and the other one is a combination of the color of the cover plus gray. So that is it, and I'm going to start using this in the end of December as my memory keeper. So some of you might remember that in a recent video I said I was going to use an A4 plus Leuchtturm for my memory keeper, and I just realized that that was way too big and I couldn't cope with the idea of it, so I've given that to James. He's going to use it as a scrapbook, and I am going to be using this, which is much more manageable and petite. So I hope that you enjoyed this. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!